Ever get that, like, I don't know, almost like a little jolt of relief when you double check that the front door is locked?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Or maybe you, like, I do this all the time, kind of listen for any like weird sounds coming from your car when you start it up,
Makes you feel better for sure.
Just those little everyday checks, right? They help us feel like, okay, things are working, things are safe. Well, today we're doing a deep dive into a similar kind of check, but for the digital world.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. We're talking about the instructions, the code that makes our computers, phones, apps, all of that stuff actually work.
Okay, so like making sure the digital tools we use all the time are safe and sound.
Exactly. And just like, with our houses and cars, we don't want to wait until something breaks down completely before we realize there's a problem.
Right, prevention is key.
Yeah. So imagine like building a house, right? You want a solid foundation, strong materials.
Of course.
You wouldn't just like slap it together and hope for the best.
Definitely not.
And in the world of software, the code is like the foundation, the blueprints for everything.
Okay, I see the analogy.
Yeah, so if there are weaknesses or mistakes in that code, it's like using shoddy materials or having a flaw in the design.
Gotcha.
And that can lead to some pretty big problems.
Like what kind of problems?
Well, one type is kind of like leaving a window wide open in your house.
Oh, a security risk?
Exactly. It's a vulnerability that someone could exploit, sneak in and cause trouble.
Makes sense. And what about the other kind of problem?
The other type is more like a construction error.
Okay.
So maybe a pipe wasn't connected right, or a wall is crooked.
So in software, this would be like a coding error that makes the program malfunction.
Right. It could glitch, crash, or just not work the way it's supposed to.
Frustrating.
Super frustrating. Like imagine your navigation app suddenly sending you in the opposite direction.
Oh, no, not that.
Not fun, right? So to avoid those kinds of situations, there's this whole process of, automatically checking the code.
Like an inspection.
Yeah, kind of like having a team of experts reviewing the blueprints and the construction, making sure everything is up to code, literally.
But software projects can be massive, right? How do they check all that code?
That's where it gets really interesting. It's not like someone's reading through millions of lines of code line by line.
Goodness.
Right? There are these specialized tools. Think of them like superpowered scanners that can automatically go through all that code.
Okay, like a spell checker, but way more advanced.
Way more advanced. They look for known patterns of errors, potential security holes, things like that.
So it's like a quality control system for code.
Precisely.
I'm curious, what happens if these scanners find something? Do they just fix it?
Well, not quite magically fix it, but they do raise an alert. It's kind of like a warning light on your car's dashboard.
Oh, okay.
It lets you know there's something to look into without necessarily telling you exactly how to fix it.
So it tells you where to look, but not what to do.
Exactly. And in code, these alerts pinpoint the exact spot in the code where there might be an issue.
So that must be super helpful for the developers.
Oh, incredibly helpful. It saves them tons of time trying to track down problems. They get this notification saying, hey, double check this part.
Much more efficient than searching through mountains of code.
Right. But it's not just about finding problems that already exist.
Oh, so it can also help prevent new problems from cropping up.
Exactly. These tools can be integrated right into the development process.
Okay.
So every time a developer adds or changes some code, the scanner automatically checks it in the background.
Wow, that's amazing, like having an inspector constantly looking over your shoulder.
Yeah, it's like a safety net. Catches those potential issues before they become bigger headaches later on.
That must save developers a lot of stress.
Oh, definitely. Fixing a small problem early on is way easier than dealing with a major bug or security breach after the software is out there being used by, thousands or millions of people.
Right, it's like catching a tiny crack in a bridge before it causes a collapse.
Perfect analogy. It's all about building more robust and secure software in the long run.
Makes sense. Now, you mentioned different tools for code scanning. Are they all the same?
Well, they all aim to find problems, but they can work in different ways and have different strengths.
Okay, so some are more general and some are more specialized.
Exactly. Some are like a general health check, looking for common issues. Others are more like specialists, focusing on specific types of vulnerabilities or performance bottlenecks.
So it depends on the specific needs of the software project.
Right. Just like sometimes you need a general practitioner and sometimes you need a cardiologist.
I see. So this code scanning is becoming more and more common then.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
It's not just for the big tech giants anymore.
So smaller teams are using it too.
Yeah, pretty much any team that wants to make sure their software is reliable and secure.
It's interesting to think that, behind all the apps and websites we use every day, there's this whole process happening.
Right, like an invisible layer of quality control.
It's pretty amazing when you think about it.
Definitely. So to kind of sum up, this deep dive into code scanning has shown us that it's like an automatic health check for the instructions that power our digital world. It's constantly looking for potential weaknesses and errors, helping developers build better, safer software for all of us.
Exactly.
And it really makes you think, doesn't it?
Yeah.
All those apps you use, from checking the weather to banking to streaming, they're all built with this kind of behind-the-scenes scrutiny happening.
Makes you feel a little more confident using them, knowing that.
I think so. So next time you're using your favorite app or website, just remember there's likely a whole system in place working to make sure it's reliable and secure.
It's like a silent guardian protecting our digital lives.
I like that. Well, that brings us to the end of this deep dive. Thank you for joining us as we explored this fascinating corner of the tech world. And if you enjoyed this conversation and want to learn more about the technologies that shape our lives, make sure to subscribe to the deep dive. We'll be back soon with another exciting topic to explore.
Looking forward to it.